This is the story of one of the greatest mass migrations in the history of the Earth. "70 million years ago, giants roamed at the top of the world. At this prehistoric North Pole, summers are warm. A chance for hatchling dinosaurs to fatten their bellies, unaware their safe and happy world is about to change forever. As winter sets in, plants will shrivel and die. Temperatures will plummet, and 4 months of darkness will engulf the land as night hunters stalk the weak. Winter at the North Pole is a death trap with just one way out. An epic annual crossing of a continent. 1,000 miles of hostile territory lie ahead. In a do-or-die march south to find the sun. A summer's day, 70 million years ago. The Arctic, but not the icy landscape we know. The Earth is a much warmer place, and in summer, round-the-clock sunlight supercharges the forest vegetation. It's a fertile feast for some of the planet's biggest and hungriest creatures, dinosaurs. Thousands of vegetarian dinosaurs come here for the endless supply of food. Some are solitary, like this spiky ankylosaur. But most are herd animals like these Edmontosaurus. This is one of the youngest members of the Edmontosaurus herd, Scar, although he hasn't earned his name yet. When he hatched here in the spring, Scar weighed no more than a bag of sugar, but he has thrived under the protection of his extended family and is on his way to becoming a 3-ton adult. The Arctic provides light, warmth, and all he can eat. Everything is going his way. But Scar will find out there's a price to pay. Though the summer brings 24-hour sunlight, it will soon fade, and 24-hour darkness will take its place. There are signs that summer is already letting go, meaning tougher times for every dinosaur in the forest. The most common predators here are Troodon. This is Patch, a young male. He spent the summer feeding on baby Edmontosaurus. But now Scar and his friends have grown too big, and Patch must look for other game. Troodon are among the most intelligent dinosaurs, but Patch is just too young to have mastered the subtle arts of hunting. He knows that what goes in must come out, but he hasn't learned to cover all the exits. Unlike this fully grown Troodon. Patch needs to sharpen up his act in a hurry. The clock is ticking. The summer sun is dying fast, and as winter approaches, the Arctic will start to show its true colors. The perpetual daylight is finally retreating, and as the shadows lengthen, the danger grows. Now he must deal with a threat he's never faced before. Nightfall. For Edmontosaurus, darkness is danger. They can no longer see predators coming. This is no time to be away from the herd. Luckily, the first night of fall lasts just a moment. The danger of surprise attack fades with the dawn. Scar is wounded, but safely back in the sanctuary of the watchful herd. From now on, the coming winter will steal a bit more light from every passing day. So for these herbivores, every night will be more dangerous. Soon, the sun will disappear completely. Then the herd must leave on a great march south to find enough food and light to survive the winter. As fall turns to winter and the nights lengthen, the forest begins to wither and die. The competition for what's left is about to get much tougher. The Edmontosaurus males bellow a warning to the herd. Danger approaches. Another dinosaur is here in force. Pachyrhinosaurus, 2-ton vegetarian headbangers. The brains inside these thick skulls are no bigger than a bird's, but their reinforced heads make excellent battering rams. For Edmontosaurus, a formidable rival in the life or death struggle for food. Troodon have evolved to survive the cold, dark winters. But they must make the most of autumn before some of the smaller prey hibernate. And Patch is still a beginner at the killing game. A Troodon's brain is wired for high-speed pursuit. Like a bird of prey, it's as if he sees in slow motion. But even with his amazing eyesight, some meals are just too quick for him. For Scar, the days of plenty are over. To survive the long march south, he must now hunt out every last scrap of nourishment from the dying forest. The armored ankylosaur shows how. She is an old hand at survival and is eating rotten wood. An unlikely source of nutrition, but the insect larvae within provide enough protein to keep her 3-ton bulk going. A far cry from a diet of leaves and soft plants. Scar is hungry for the first time in his life. The lush summer paradise is now a distant memory, and the time to leave will soon be upon them. As every night stretches longer than the last, it's the predators that now have the upper hand. The adults corral their young, their own bodies forming the last line of defense against the unseen terrors they know are out there. Scar is now living in a world of fear. Nothing will entice him to venture outside the herd's protection again. Nothing. Except perhaps a scrap of food. For one young female, the compulsion to eat is more than she can bear. Gorgosaurus, T-Rex's North Pole cousin. The consummate nocturnal killer. The young dinosaur never stood a chance. For herbivores, daylight can't come too soon. Starvation and predators have turned their summer playground into a winter killing field. Their only hope? Exodus. The ever-shortening day finally signals to the herd the onset of the great annual migration. It's time to head south towards the sun in a grueling trek to find food and safety. Leaving the desolation of the Arctic forest and the predators behind. Only the herd's dead will remain. The Edmontosaurus will spend 15 hours a day on the move. The youngest, barely strong enough for the journey. The 3-month odyssey will lead the youngsters through perilous terrain, but with the herd to guide them, many will endure. Across the Arctic, Edmontosaurus hear the call, coming together for safety in numbers. Even rival herds of Pachyrhinosaurus join the jostling masses. The march of the dinosaurs has begun. The Great Migration will descend the Western Peninsula through what is now the Northwest Territories of Canada to Alberta. Their destination, the fertile coast of the inland sea that divides North America. The prize, a haven of food, light, and warmth. But right now, they still have 1,000 miles to go. For some herbivores, there is no escape. This cumbersome ankylosaur is too slow and heavy for such a strenuous expedition. She must remain at the pole to endure the ravages of winter. As food supplies dwindle, predators will be competing for every hunk of meat. The Troodon are taking a big risk by feeding on the Gorgosaurus's kill. But this carcass may provide the last big meal for months. Patch is well down the pecking order, hoping for a few scraps at best. At worst, his own carcass will form tomorrow's leftovers. Gorgosaurus rules this forest. Nobody steals his food. But in winter, some prizes are worth fighting for. reckless adult inflicts a savage bite. But he who strikes the king must strike to kill, or pay the price. After 1 week, the migrating herds break the edge of the Arctic forest. So far, Scar is keeping up with the herd. But this open landscape is a hostile new world. They're exposed to the elements beneath a sky that holds unfamiliar threats. Scavengers who know that this journey will soon start taking its toll. A few hours later, the sky has another surprise. Scar has never seen snow before. But the first flakes rapidly become a blizzard. To cope with the freezing temperatures, they have to keep moving at all costs. Youngsters like Scar are the most vulnerable. Their small bodies easily overwhelmed. The herd must abandon any that fall behind to die alone in the wilderness. The arrival of a hardy veteran spurs the greenhorn into action. With 20 winter migrations behind him, this adult has been through it all before. He provides some shelter from the weather and sets a pace the youngster can follow. But the old-timer has his own troubles. He has a brain tumor. This may be his last migration. Behind them, the blizzard brings even colder temperatures to the dinosaurs left in the north. Patch's feathers not quite enough to keep the biting chill at bay. Cold is not his only problem. He's still not eaten properly. And he needs to be in peak condition for what's in store. He's about to go head-to-head with the older males in the most important challenge of his life. This time, it's not about food. It's each male for himself in an annual ritual that every adult takes part in. It's the nesting season. In these conditions, it's hard enough looking after number one. But Patch must now also prepare for a family. First step, attract a mate. "200 miles to the south, thousands of tons of determined dinosaur have battled through the blizzard. But in the blinding whiteout, they've strayed completely off course and into deep trouble. The freezing water will kill even a huge dinosaur in minutes. But that's not all. Monstrous predators lurk in the deep. In the far north, the ankylosaur is toughing it out as best she can. Survival means foraging alone around the clock, seeking out scraps in the deepest corners of the forest, where she may find more than she bargained for. In winter, even a small injury can have deadly consequences. A fight could kill them both. The Gorgosaurus hasn't got the stomach for it. The Troodon bite on his leg is now infected. He must rest and hope a better opportunity comes his way. The dinosaurs left in the Arctic are about to endure the deepest phase of winter. Once the sun sets, it will not re-emerge until 4 long months have passed. This is the beginning of the longest night on Earth. Some may not live to see another day. The Edmontosaurus herd has been heading south for almost a month. They've left the snowstorms and perpetual darkness behind them. But a herd marches on its stomach, and they're now running on empty. Starvation and exhaustion have already cut down the weakest. But out here, no life is ever wasted. The Quetzalcoatlus is the biggest flying animal of all time, with a wingspan the length of a school bus. They have a taste for dinosaur meat. The migration is their movable feast. At last, a tiny oasis of green in the barren wilderness. Scar gets his reward for fighting his way so far. But there are too many mouths to feed. The Pachyrhinosaurus want the plants for themselves. Hunger drives one Edmontosaurus to fight his corner. A broken rib cage means a slow death for the desperate animal. But for the migrating herd, there's no looking back. the Edmontosaurus continues south. To the west, a massive collision of continental plates is giving birth to the Rocky Mountains. This is the most dangerous part of the herd's journey so far. As the land twists and buckles, volcanic eruptions blanket a huge area with ash, killing the plant life and any chance of a meal. And now, more trouble is stirring. In the distance, another cloud of ash pumps into the sky, the atmosphere charged with electricity and menace. The fine volcanic dust coats the lungs and masks the telltale scent of approaching predators. Edmontosaurus is the dominant carnivore of the region. Like Gorgosaurus, they are close relatives of T-Rex. In a hunting pack, the average member is 3 tons of teeth and stealth. It's been months since their last proper meal. The pack keeps a yearly vigil for the arrival of migrating herbivores. The winter feast will soon be served.